What's up? Back at it again. It's OPEX. You already know. You're tuned into the mind of OPEX. This is going to be another one for you. Last video I talked about essentially fixing the deserts, terraforming our planet, fixing our planet. This is going to be not similar, but one of my strategies to combat the bullshit in the future. And I think a lot of you know what I mean when I say bullshit of the future. So I won't have to dive into that, because that would be a whole nother 30 videos in itself. But in this video, I want to vaguely talk about an idea in which could revolutionize the future. This one would be changing the transportation system completely. Now, Elon Musk has already talked about this a little bit in his idea to have tunnels between cities where you can go like 200 miles an hour. And that's a great idea, and I want to piggyback on that idea. Now, they're already going to try to get rid of fuel vehicles relatively soon. I don't know if California is by 2030 or 2035, something like that. So my plan would to be put every vehicle off the road, so take them off the road, and then implement a whole new system where you're using the roads in the pathways, but we're all putting it on tracks. Stay with me, guys. So my idea, and I've been thinking about this, especially now again, I've been thinking about this a lot more with the development of AI. I believe AI is the system, the brain in which will direct traffic. There's going to be no more steering wheels. There's going to be no more tires and engines. Everything's going to be on a track. And going from city to city, especially on the interstate system, the highway system that is our interstate, will be in tunnels. You can go up to 200 miles an hour in these tunnels. You're going to have a vehicle, not really a vehicle, but on a track, almost like a train. And it's going to be connected to the track. You can't leave the track. And AI is going to direct you into certain positions, either on a track or a track and or pulley system. And it can slow you down, it can speed you up, and it's all under the brain of AI, which is a lot better and safer than us driving on the roads. You see these motherfuckers on the roads, right? We need to protect people, really. So in the future, you're not going to have licenses. You're not going to have fuel-powered vehicles. You're not going to be able to cause accidents anymore. You can drink and ride to San Francisco from New York and have some shots and go 200 miles an hour and get there relatively quick. It's going to really, really help on the climate change bullshit, right? So these vehicles, let's describe these vehicles to you. Of course, this is all in my brain, but this is what I want to innovate and invent. I just got to hook up with people like Elon Musk that have the knowledge and the money to do so. But he's already starting that shit, so I would love to sit down with him and wrap his brain around my ideas. And it's going to be much deeper than what I'm telling you in this video. This video would take forever if I tell you everything that I thought about with just the transportation system. Just like in the last video, I didn't describe every freaking reason why we need to plant trees in the deserts and every way to go about it. It would just take forever. I mean, that video is long enough as itself. Let's describe the vehicles, right? The new vehicles on the road, which aren't going to be vehicles, but you're going to be able to, again, we would have to work this out, but essentially you can trade in your old vehicle for the new one. And in this type of world, you can put your vehicle into the mountain, wherever you want, if it's private property. But there's going to be no more requirement for driver's licenses. But in the new vehicle, you trade in your old vehicle, you get this vehicle. It's essentially a box, right? It's essentially a box with a ventilation system, a heater, a little battery that you can plug in your phone. You can get heat and air conditioning. just like those Tesla batteries, like EV batteries or household batteries, like Elon Musk has already tried to invent. A battery that would just basically get everything that you need done. And it'll be rechargeable, it'll be hooked up into the grid. So the grid would be the track system. The track system will be energized by nuclear power. So we're going to have to create more of these nuclear power plants, and then that's going to create the energy needed to power your batteries and your little vehicles, which I don't know what to call them yet. I haven't thought that far ahead. I mean, I have come up with ideas, but nothing concrete where I would talk about it in this video. Again, we're going to make this as vague as possible. It's just an idea. It's an idea that I would love to invent and to revolutionize, and actually I would love to control it, but hey, it is what it is. These vehicles would essentially be a box. You get your ventilation system where you can breathe. You can have couches in it. You can sit down, be watching a movie on a flat screen TV. You can play video games, and you don't have to drive. It's all going to be on the system in which AI is going to direct you. You put into your AI navigation an address, and it's going to get you from your driveway wherever you are, and it's going to start bringing you there. You press basically go, where you acknowledge, hey, we're ready, it's time to go, right? It's going to lock the doors, make sure you can't get out. I mean, that sounds devious, but you're going to have to do that because kids, child safety lock, basically. And it's going to direct you, it's going to put you right on the system, it's going to put you on a track, and it's going to, under the tunnel system, which is going to be the highway system, the interstate, it's going to be underground tunnels. You're not going to hit wildlife anymore. There's going to be a drastic reduction in deaths to the wildlife, to humans, right? No more cats going out in the middle of the road, or deer especially. You know how devastating that can be. Now, deer walk above the tunnels, right? On grass, and eat and graze right over the tunnels that we're going 200 miles an hour underneath. And the interstates are going to be that system where you can go 200 plus miles an hour. And you're going to be on tracks. The tracks are going to be for these, like I said, the box basically, where it's going to be like a couple couches, a TV, and I don't even know if you'd even need safety belts, because it would be that comfortable and that there's no rocking. You're on a track system. You might have and these boxes are going to be really cheap to manufacture. The real price tag would be the whole infrastructure. That's going to be freaking hectic, but we'll get to that. But yeah, you'll have your box thing. You're going to not need truck drivers. You can just put your freight on its own box thing, and that will go onto the interstate and on these pulley systems and basically a track system, and it'll go right to the dock. So you would put the system all lined up, okay, from San Francisco, exactly where you are, to Albuquerque, New Mexico. This dock 10, whatever it might be, right? Oh, it's in use right now. Okay, well, you'll be in queue when you get there, right? Like, everything's going to be functioned on AI, which is going to respond faster than the whole bullshit of someone accidentally loses a steer tire and it goes into my lane. Now I have to react. Well, there's going to be no tires. There's going to be no engines. There's going to be no steering wheels. You're already on a track system in which you are already aligned to not need breakdowns. There's no more breakdowns. There's no more killing wildlife. There's no more pollution with fuel, exhaust systems, and DEFs, and all that bullshit is going to be a thing of the past. And you're going to be on a track system, a pulley system, again, powered by nuclear power, and run on an AI navigation system. That AI is going to say, okay, this person's getting on the highway, it's at this amount of pounds, we're going to have to pull it at this amount of power, and we're going to slow down the person before or behind and get you in there, and then everyone's back up to speed. And again, the idea is awesome. The problem would be the costs. And the other problem would be people buying newer vehicles these days, right? Like, there's much less incentive if I was to go up on a podium and say, hey, as like a Klaus Schwab character, hey, we're going to get rid of all your vehicles. You can trade them in or whatever. We'll figure that out when the time comes, but we're going to get rid of your vehicles and we're going to put on these new vehicles, and you're going to have to purchase that, which might be a lot cheaper than a motor, mechanic work, and all that. Basically, you just get like a half a quarter of a room box with aerodynamics in which you can go 200 miles an hour in a tunnel. You don't have to worry about wind. You don't have to worry about ice and shit, because you're not sliding around. You're already on a track system. You're not going to have to worry about snow and salting the roads. You're not going to have to worry about that shit. Of course, you're going to lose a lot of jobs in the process. You know, how many people work in transportation, etc., right? You're going to lose taxi cab drivers. You're going to lose truck drivers. You're going to lose, I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. You're going to lose those people that are driving. Limo drivers. You're not going to need a limo driver anymore. All of those would be gone. But hey, let's talk about it. All your jobs are taken already. Autonomously, robots, new infrastructure, self-checkouts, etc., right? We can go on and on and on. Essentially, you're not going to need a cook anymore. The robot's cooking your food for you, right? You might need a person to stack, this stack of burgers. Then the robot grabs one and cooks, right? Something like that, right? At least for the first bit, until AI really takes over and then the whole thing's just automated. Which I'm saying is already going to happen with your navigation system. It's going to be AI. You just type in your address, you agree to the address, you're ready, and then boom, you're on the track from your driveway. So there's going to be a track system everywhere, all the way up into your driveway. You don't have to worry about if it's snowing or raining or the wind's too much, because you're on a track system and your vehicle's much more aerodynamic than when I say you're in a box, you're not in a box. You are in a comfortable aerodynamic shuttle, essentially. You're comfortable, and there's also going to be transportation for the average person, right? And it's going to be a lot easier on AI navigation and on tracks to go to like bus stops, right? Because of AI, you can just show up. You'll have something on your device. Okay, it's this far away. You go on. And how do you pay for all this shit? You guys are wondering. How do you pay for the infrastructure? Well, that is the hardest thing to come by. But I know how to pay it in terms of like maintenance. Maintenance would be paid for by a toll system, right? You will have to pay to use the system. But hey, you're right now paying car insurance and for fuel. That shit costs money. You're already paid for tolls, right? So you can pay for the maintenance by just having, okay, well, this to this. Well, your AI is going to say, well, that's going to be $15, right? For 2 hours of driving. Well, that's still already cheaper than fuel and insurance and the vehicle's more expensive than these newer vehicles, these new vessels, or what should we call them? Shuttles. So you're going to have a bus system where you could have like 50 people on it. You're going to have your individual system with like 2 couches or whatever. It's basically just chill and watch movies, and you can smoke your blunt and drink your alcohol going from San Francisco to New York or whatever it may be. And the system's going to be so more advanced. Everyone's going to save time. They're going to save money. They're going to save their lives, because their life's going to be so much easier not being a steering wheel holder like me. Look, I'm I'm not holding my steering wheel, but I have to still pay attention to the road. So my idea, and I want to keep this short, we're already 15 minutes in, I'm trying to talk as fast as I can and throw all these ideas out for you guys. There's a lot of problems with my idea, and we don't have to go into it, all of them, but the number one would be the startup cost. Number two would be like, why would people buy a vehicle now if in 2035 you're not allowed to have that vehicle anyway, you know? But you would buy these new boxes. Now imagine buying like an aerodynamic box with a heater system, a Tesla battery. It's going to cost you like 15 grand, right? To be super comfortable, way more comfortable than you are right now in a $40,000 vehicle, right? Way more comfortable. No more steering wheel holders and just all facing the same direction. Now you can have like a TV, you can have a video game system, and it's all connected to the grid. Again, I think climate change, this fixes that problem of emissions and all that bullshit. So we are, because they're already going this direction. The vehicles are already going to be autonomous. Why don't we just put it on tracks? Therefore, we don't have to worry about the autonomous system working or not. And we can rely more on AI on the 5G grid. Right now, with the 5G grid, we can do this all in real time. We don't even need a new generation, a 6G. We can do this on the 5G grid right now as it is. There are things holding us back. Again, you just bought a car this year. You're not into this because you're going to think that your freedom's gone. No, your freedom's not gone. You can still go all those places that you were going before. You can still plan a trip to wherever. And then you can buy bigger vessels, right? Like RV kind of things, where you can take your RV to the campground or whatever, right? But they're going to be on these tracks. And I think the tracks are the most important thing. Because we are not going to get into accidents anymore. You're going to be hooked into your vehicle. Once it's hooked into the track, it's hooked into the track. It's not getting off the track. And that track can intermingle, and just like railroad tracks, how you can go from one side to another track, that's how this is going to be, but much more innovative. Almost a pulley system. With enough power, because of course, if all traffic's going the same speed, how much energy is it going to cost for another vehicle to get up to that speed? It's already to that speed. It's already has the energy and the momentum to get to that speed. It's actually saving energy. Like, we don't all need to drive EV vehicles. We can have the battery in the back that powers your TV, your computer, the air conditioning, whatever it might be. It can power those things. See, my idea is not like a new idea. It just makes a lot more sense now that we all are all understanding AI a little bit more. So we have the navigation system. You add that into the 5G system, you add that into a track system, and it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, but again, the upfront cost, the way to change everything from vehicles to these vessels on basically you're a car, right? I trust this system a lot more than autonomous vehicles. Autonomous vehicles are going to be confused on what to do in situations. This system is, especially on the interstate, is not going to be confused. There's not going to be stoplights anymore. The AI is going to tell, okay, it's time for this set of vehicles to go, and now these vehicles go. It's going to measure how far away the following distance would be. It's super easy. No more accidents, no more killing wildlife. Now, I haven't really figured out the city driving, if you can. I mean, there's still going to be crosswalks, right? But imagine if this whole system was just underground. So we're going to have to make it underground. And then people can walk above the ground, or animals can walk above the system. That would be great, but that would be much more time consuming and labor intensive, etc. But with the interstate system, we have to do that. because that will save wildlife. Obviously, you don't want these carts going down tracks, and trust the AI to be like, okay, everyone move over, now there's a deer approaching. And to block off these areas, as you can already see, these fences that you see on the side of the interstate right now aren't even high enough to stop a deer from jumping over it, right? So a deer can easily jump over and then get kind of trapped on the highway. You know what I mean? Like, the system now sucks. It's kind of stupid, and it's time to fucking innovate. It's time to fix this. But we're going to all lose our jobs. Well, I already have an idea for that, and you guys aren't going to like it. But you guys are already going to lose your jobs. All right? You're already going to lose your jobs. Whether you're a McDonald's person flipping burgers, or being a cashier, or being a truck driver, you're already plan on your job not being there in 20 years. Plan on it now. Don't be fucking surprised. You already know it's coming. But there is going to be a universal basic income. If you don't want to work, you don't have to work. All your needs are going to be met. A lot of people are going to be stuck in the metaverse or wherever the fuck they are, virtual reality. A lot of people are going to choose that life as opposed to working and creating a new business or whatever it might be. So expect it to come. It is coming. And with Microsoft's patented that system in which you're rewarded cryptocurrency from doing a task. That's going to be a thing. All this shit's going to be implemented. And it's kind of sad because Revelation talked about this, the mark of the beast. You're not going to be able to buy or sell goods or transport without it. Now imagine that little chip or whatever it might be, your identification. Maybe I shouldn't say this because it'll get my video taken down, but COVID. That was an identification tracking system. They already started practicing it on the public to see what it can do, how it can track you, etc. So they're already identifying you and putting you in a database with all your medical records and you know, all that shit. That was not a virus thing. That was an identification process. Anyways, I've talked about that in the past. We don't have to talk about it. But it all makes sense. So be prepared. I would highly recommend you start paying attention to what's going on. In the Bible, it says, wise men pay attention to 666. That is that patent that I talked about. I don't know if it was taken down on YouTube. Just look up WO060606. It's a patent from Microsoft. That's going to be the future, or at least that style of it, where you're rewarded cryptocurrency for doing a task. And it's going to monitor your heart rate, your heat, body heat sensor. It's going to monitor you to make sure you did your task. So just even think about it. The future is probably going to be, you don't have to work anymore, but if you do want to work, at least you're going to be healthy doing it, right? Like maybe it's going to say, do 100 push-ups or run a mile, and it's going to measure if you're doing the push-ups, if you're doing the mile, and then it's going to reward you with money for staying in shape. A lot of you are truck drivers right now and like, oh, if I just could get into shape right now, I'm just so fat and I have no time and no energy right now to get in shape and you know, gym memberships and blah, blah, blah. Well, imagine if in the future you don't need a job. Now, you could use a job if you want those extra things in life. But all your needs are going to be met without a job, with Universal Basic Income, UBI. And on top of UBI, like I already have a plan to fix homelessness. That'll be a video here soon. I got a plan to fix homelessness. Now, you can't force people to live in a home. Some people actually prefer the nomadic lifestyle. But I got a cure for that. But let's stick back to this video. Let's end this video with the transportation thing. I'm going too far out there. I tried to be vague, and I'm still vague. I'm not going into detail how I'm implementing this. Me and Elon Musk need to sit down and have a few conversations. I think he's the one to talk about this because he already talked about the tunnel system. And if we can implement, and he's already doing EVs, so imagine switching from EVs to these vessels that are electronic and under the nuclear grid with AI potential. And he already talks about AI all the time. Like, that's the guy to talk to about this. He's the guy that can help us get to that point. Now, here's the thing. You're going to need really, really responsible people that you can trust to implement this stuff and to be the head of this stuff. Someone like me. I don't even trust Elon Musk enough, but Elon Musk would be better than Klaus Schwab being the head of this stuff, or Bill Gates, right? Do you want the Klaus Schwabs and the Bill Gateses to dictate your future, or should we innovate and come up with these ideas and put the infrastructure out there, again, with respected, trustworthy people? I think we should go that route instead of letting the Bill Gateses and the Klaus Schwabs, even the Jeff Bezos people of the world, do this, right? So, I don't know exactly where I was going with that. Just keep an eye out for this shit. So I guess that's going to be enough for this video. Stay tuned for more content. Tell me what you think about this idea. I'm starting to hear more and more people talking about the 200-mile-an-hour tunnels that are in tracks. And I think that we should innovate that everywhere because it's already coming. They already want us to all be on EV vehicles, autonomous vehicles. Why would we do that? That makes no sense to me. Why would we do that? Do you trust autonomous vehicles? I don't. I wouldn't trust that. And we're all still going to be having to do mechanic stuff and maintenance on our vehicles and still spend so much money on these vehicles, and it's going to be electric. It doesn't make any sense to me. But nuclear, on a track system, a pulley system, that makes so much more sense to me. Guided by AI and an AI navigation system, it makes a lot more sense. In fact, it's kind of retarded that most people aren't talking about it. Kind of like the climate change thing in my last video. Let's put trees in the deserts to fix climate instead of geoengineering and blocking out the sun. That sounds retarded to me, right? To block out the sun and to go do all the bullshit that they want to do. Geoengineer the planet, making it worse, never fixing the deserts. That sounds retarded. Same thing with this video. Autonomous vehicles in the same type of system we have now sounds retarded. We don't need wheels if we don't have people turning them. We don't need wheels. We can put them on tracks. Makes 100 times more sense. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are on board with what I'm saying. It might sound scary because you're going to have to get rid of your vehicles and it's going to sound like you're getting rid of your freedom, but the world's going that direction anyway. Let's do it right, not keep the same infrastructure of asphalt to, well, rubber on asphalt. That sounds retarded. We're in 2024 almost now, right? 2024, you're thinking about asphalt and tires? Come on, where are we, guys? Let's fucking actually innovate and revolutionize our future and make it a much better future where we can save our planet. You're scared of climate change? This is the video for you. My last video's a video for you. We fixed climate change, boom, problem solved. And we're gonna be safer. Look how many deaths happen in each fucking place every year just because of accidents. How many times do people hit deer? Do you see deer on the side of the road? Well, that's a huge problem. Let's stop that bullshit. Killing 1,000 birds with one stone. Fix all these problems. One stone. One fix. Fixes everything. Makes a lot of sense, right? Come on, aren't we intelligent yet? I'm a think tank. I think about this shit. I'm out on the road, I'm bored, hey, we can just do this. We can put trees out into the desert. We can go into tunnel systems on pulleys and track systems on an AI grid. Now, I'm going to make an AI video soon. I was never concerned about AI until recently. I did get a little bit of a fear on AI recently, which is extremely rare for me. I started to get scared about AI, but now I'm not scared because I can see the benefits of the future. AI is just a tool. I don't believe it's going to be conscious and take over everything, but I can see, and that's going to be a video coming soon, so I'm not going to dive into it. That's 3 videos in itself, just AI. In fact, this could be 3 videos on transportation, but again, 30 minutes into it, and I'm still vague, not going into details. So plenty of content coming. Stay tuned for it. It's OPEX. Tell me what you think. Comments below. Sorry for the camera angle. We're going to switch that soon. I just don't, again, I don't want to pay $40 at the truck stop for one of those things I can hang it off the fucking windshield. It's just retarded to me. I'm not spending $40 on $1 thing. It's just stupid to me. Therefore, sorry about the quality of this video, but stay tuned for more content. I'm going to talk about AI. I'm going to talk about all my plans of revolutionizing the future in future videos. So stay tuned. It's OPEX. I'm out. See you guys.